Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another day of Be Agile Scrum. By the way, anyone here for the first time? You can unmute and you can speak up. Is it day one for anyone? Okay. So I guess it's not. So cool. So if this is not your day one, so based on your input, the class starts accordingly. So because I believe this is not your day one, will continue accordingly. And what I'm going to do is that, as you know, we start with what? Who can tell me this?
Code of
Code
honor.
of honor.
Exactly, you are right. Code of honor. And why code of honor is needed? Why we need to revise that? We need to revise this to remember that what exactly we need to follow. We might forget, and we need to follow all the time. That this is a reminder not only for the one who is sharing, but also for all of you and for the ones who have created it. And it had been from the inception of the BHL Scrum tracks. So from the first batch itself, it had been here in the place. So I'm going to share that with you. And the core intention is that this code of honor is going to help you to get place, because in process, you may fall prey to comfort, which may allow you to postpone your own placement. So how you should get going and get bliss as soon as possible. So here are a few tips that you need to follow, and it will help you to continue the game of getting placed. So I'm going to share that. So let me quickly see if anyone is there. Yes. So I'm going to share. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So first one, you know the hook, the show up live, be on time, remain punctual, remain highly committed, because how you do anything is how you do everything. That's the one reason. And while you are starting your uh, game of getting plays with the being with the training, you don't have to just be a student. You be a full stack student. How would you do that? You will do by doing all the assignment, do all self-research, and repeat whatever you have learned. Third one is to take the full responsibility of not only your success, but also of your failure. When you will take that responsibility, you will see that failure become the trail for the success, because eventually you will correct that. And the fourth one, to do so, it requires a cool mindset, which comes with the continuous learning mindset. To do so, it requires your positive mindset, and more you will find yourself being positive mindset, you will find yourself going more complaint.
Tomorrow's going to be the Super Mario Brothers movie.
What I'm going to do is that for now, I'm going to keep you all muted so that I can speak, and later when I need any response, I'll unmute you all. Thank you so much. So yes, so you need to go complaint free. You will find yourself going complaint free, and the more complaint free you will go, you will find yourself getting loaded in gratitude. So this is the to acquire such mindset, what you need to do so. So you need to increase your receptivity the moment you start your day. And for that, I have shared 30 days challenge that you need to listen to every single day, so that you will find that how it is impacting positively your every single decision, your every single day, and your every single outcome of the day. And uh, because you are going to increase your receptivity by doing so towards the positivity, towards the this agile mindset, what is going to happen when you get into deep learning? You are encouraged to follow golden quadrant of learning. I'm yet to see that you follow it completely, which is called as you start your deep learning with the declaration, and that uh, declaration, that too with the anchor. And then once you have declared with anchor and you got into the learning, then draw whatever you have learned, and then summarize in less than 90-second video, in a way that even 5 years old can understand. So that's the golden quadrant of learning. What I'm going to do is, now I'm going to ask you to start this declaration with anchor. So at the count of three, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put an anchor. Anchor is the bodily anchor. So for new who has joined for the first time, uh, why we need to do anchor. Anchor is just like a anchor to a ship. So your focus is just like a ship in the ocean of thought, and that requires an anchor, and that we can give is the bodily anchor, that is to for your neuroplasticity. So we'll talk about it later if time permits. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to at the count of three, I'm going to put an anchor. Anchor is nothing but the clap or self hi-fi, and then read what is selected over the screen. So are you all ready for the anchor? Everyone, you can unmute and you can say yes. Yeah, thank you
Yes.
so much. So ready, 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. I am a quick learner.
I'm a quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What others can learn and master,
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
One more time, we are going to bring the anchor. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. Because I'm an awesome learner.
Because I'm an awesome learner.
Today's learning is going to be
Today's learning is going to be
super duper easy to me.
super duper easy for me.
Exactly, it is going to be super duper easy. As you said so. 6, remember, on this path of learning, you need to be a giver, the one who understand that you know already something, but when you need to get into the deep of it, you must keep your ego away on the path of learning, and that keeps you more spiritually grounded, means more level of happiness you can experience, and more happiness is more productivity today. And yes, you will find yourself more happy on the path of growth, and that will open your own learning horizon from where you can't even imagine. And you will get to know that how you are getting into the deep learning at a really deeper level. And while you are learning or you are already earning, remember to have an intent of charity. At least give away 5% or 10% if you are already earning. And in case you are waiting, once you will get place, you will start earning, and then you need to have this intent of charity of giving away 5 to 10% to the causes wherever you believe in, because the intention behind is that when you give, you grow, and when you receive, you survive. So I'm sure here you are for the sake of growth, and just don't give away for the sake of growth, but also to inspire others in your community. And while you do so, appreciate what you do, what others do for you, and even what does not happen to you, because what you appreciate appreciates you back. That's the hook. That's the universal law. In fact, I would say this is very important. You need to know that every Sunday we are going to meet for the technical session at what time? 9:30 p.m. EST. Yes, 9:30 p.m. EST. Monday is going to be assignment day. Assignment are two types: said and unsaid. Said assignments, where we will be asking you literally to do some activity, and you will do. In case we are not asking, what you are going to do is that whatever you have learned, so that you relearn, and you are taking notes. So based on that, you need to summarize every single session. Say, for example, Wednesday, you learned on Wednesday what you will do. I'm going to tell you. So Monday, you have done the unsaid assignment or said assignment. Tuesday, you are going to attend the technical session at 9:30 p.m. EST. You also attend RRP session, is reference ready resume preparation. Now, listen very closely. You may find that reference ready resume preparation every single time is the repetition. Yes, it is going to be repetition for you, but when despite this you will show up, it creates the visibility in front of guru schools, in front of your own HR. You will increase your visibility, thereby you will create your own credibility, and thereby you will trigger your own marketability, and thereby your chances to get placed gets higher. Okay, so that's the reason you need to repeat RRP session, even though it sounds that okay, every single time it is repeated. So who needs job is you need job, and that's the reason you need to be present over there. And once you are done with Tuesday, on Wednesday, you are going to do this unsaid assignment. You will summarize, okay, and you share on the WhatsApp group, however you have summarized that, okay. On Thursday, you once again go back and repeat the RRP session. Again, the same hook. Visibility creates more credibility, creates more marketability for you, thereby to you get placed. Okay. On Friday, you go back and do your own self-research, because mere learning over here may not suffice for you. You can listen to other videos, other topics, some extended topic you need to work on your own way. Okay, repeat whatever you have learned, do all the assignments if it is pending at all, and come prepared with some questions so that you can go back with its answer on Sunday. However, on Saturday you can relax and it can be your breather day. Is it clear to you how you are totally engaged from Sunday to Saturday? Yeah, Saturday being your relaxing day. Yeah. So this is how, because every single day, at least apart from technical session, you can easily give 15 to 20 minutes, so that you will find yourself, you are remaining connected, right? So are you going to do that? Yes. Yeah. So I consider yes from everyone. Yes.
Yes.
Anyone who is not ready to say yes? Okay. Okay. So I'll guess yes from all. Thank you so much. So let's get into the topic now. So do you remember last time what we were sharing, what we were discussing?
Scrum planning process.
Exactly. And Scrum planning, how any Scrum planning is structured. So first part, almost we started with any
scope of Scrum planning.
Exactly, Ashi, you are absolutely right. So this is how, if you'll take notes, you will remember that. Yes, we started with the scope. So how any Scrum planning can be done, it starts with scope, okay? So you understand what is in scope, what is out of scope. So it's scope part one was scope, then part two is plan. So with the help of scope and plan, we continue to identify what will be the input, what will be the output of sprint backlog. Okay, so we are going to get started. By the way, can I quickly ask you all, what do we mean by scope?
Like what is covered in it? Like,
yeah. What else?
What
Any
is
other
the
answer?
Requirement.
The
Requirement of the client.
Yeah. So what we are going to include
agenda
is
of the plan.
yeah. So, yeah, precisely right. So what we are going to include in the development, and what we are not going to include in the development, even that is mentioned in the scope part under out of scope part. Okay. So scope will clearly say inclusion as well as exclusion. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's understand the plan part. Okay. So I want a quick volunteer over here who can read the first bullet. One person.
The team discusses in more detail how they will deliver the selected product backlog items.
Exactly. So this is very obvious, right? So what happens? We pull from the product backlog item. From where we pull it? All the requirements, we pull it from where?
Backlog.
Product backlog. Product backlog. We also call it as a PBI. What we call it as?
PBI.
PBI. Yeah. PBI, the abbreviation of product backlog item. So from there, the highest priority feature we are going to pull in the sprint planning meeting to discuss upon it. Okay. So how do we decide what is going to be the highest priority feature? Who can give me the answer? Any answer? How we are going to decide what is the highest priority feature that we are going to include in the sprint planning discussion?
First, we have to discuss with the product owner or the client which they want first deliver.
Yeah. So who will tell that which is the highest priority feature first?
product owner.
Yeah. And who will tell to product owner?
client.
Exactly.
Stakeholders.
Exactly. Stakeholders, clients will tell to product owner that what is the highest priority, what they want to start working upon, and those highest priority features initially will be pulled based on the timing, or based on what is the time of the sprint, time duration of the sprint, whether these are doable or not. Say for example, they pull 4 backlog item and you happen to see that only we can deliver the 3 So 3 highest priority feature we will take into the consideration. We will discuss upon that, and 4th one we will park it for the next sprint. Okay, next what?
Sprint.
Exactly, that's right. So now, and we discuss on that, on those product backlog item, eventually that become the sprint backlog item. So second bullet, who can read this?
I can do that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
This may,
This-
but does not have to include identifying tasks for the product backlog items where there are any dependency between the items and signing up for the initial product backlog items that each item, each team member works on.
Yeah. So understand the dependency part. Okay, you need to also identify dependency. It may sound that any product backlog item customer may want, okay, at a first priority. However, they won't have the clue that it might have some dependency upon some other product backlog item, and who will decide that that has to be delivered first. So when requirement analysis happens, okay, that time BA comes up first, and they say that even though customer has asked for ABC, these requirement as a first priority, we foresee the feature number E or feature number 5 has to be delivered along with 1, 2, 3. So we'll have to plan in a way so that we deliver 1, 2, 3, and 5. Okay, so you need to identify the dependency, and when you do the project planning, and that time you are easily able to find it as a product owner along with business analyst. Okay, because product owner does this planning along with business analyst as well. So this is what it says when it comes to plan. Let's see how does it look like. Okay, so here you see, just a second. Okay, so you see that what product owner does, he identifies the release date. Okay, and how he comes to know about the release date, of course, based on the time duration of a sprint, and what is the frequent releases he wants to give after release, after sprint after sprint. Based on that, he identifies the release dates, and he continues to create the product backlog based on the requirement coming from whom? Requirement comes from whom?
Stakeholders.
Yeah.
The client.
Client, sponsors. So exactly, we'll use the word client. Okay, and Scrum Master makes sure that sprint backlog, in fact the sprint planning meeting he facilitates, and thereby in the sprint planning these sprint backlog gets created. So these are the part of what? These sprint backlog are part of what? Who can tell me?
Priority pending
Okay.
projects maybe.
Okay.
Next sprint.
Okay, so okay,
Those are the leftover from the previous sprints.
okay, not necessarily. Yeah, that's in a way right. Leftover can be at the towards almost the end one, right? So here you see, okay, so what we are actually delivering at the end?
The
Product.
We are, yeah, we are using the features, we are using the requirement, we are using the product, we are using the sprint backlog, which has been decided in the sprint planning meeting, which are the part of what?
Requirement.
Requirement.
Requirement, and requirement is nothing but the product backlog item.
Product
It is-
backlog.
yeah, it is quite visible over here. Okay, can you see? So for this, I'm going to repeat a quick example. An example will be the same. Imagine this is a big bread loaf. Okay, and the customer is sitting over here. Customer is nothing but a kiddo. Okay, kiddo at home. Okay, and the development team is mother, scrum master is grandparents. Okay, and father could be the product owner. Okay, he brings the product backlog item. It means big bread loaf, and this big bread loaf is prepared or baked in a way that it has lot of tutti frutti. And this kiddo, this customer is demanding the best flavor tutti frutti piece as very highest priority. He wants it to be served in his plate. So what he does, he slices down all the product backlog item, all the bread loaf, and he pulls the most flavored or most slice with the highest count of the tutti frutti, and he discusses with the grandparents and with mother that can we give him these three pieces, and do you think with the test he will consume them all? Based on that, they also say that no, we will also include something in the requirement which will be healthier for him, and we will persuade him that he will consume that. But again, we will also take his agreement whether he wants it or not. Somehow few slices are discussed here, and they start seeing that we will give him the very first one first. So they go ahead, and with the development team, with mother, he discusses, and in 5 to 10 minutes they discuss, and they see that plate is ready, kid is sitting and ready to review, almost plate is served. uh, Client comes in, kiddo comes in, and he tastes the first one. He says that, okay, I need one more piece, please make it prepare, and he starts consuming here. So this is the typical scenario happens in the corporate world with the requirement. So actually the customer is not a kiddo, but why I'm telling you, because he or she may demand anything and everything from you, but you have to be mature enough to tell them that how and what are the part of the scope, what exactly you can deliver. However, remember the sprint planning meeting where the discussion actually happens, that what all the features or requirement of the highest priority you can deliver. It will not go more than 6 to 8 hours. 6 to 8 hours itself it means the one working day. So why your sprint planning meeting will go for 6 to 8 hours? It will only go for 6 to 8 hours if your sprint is of, pay very close attention, if your sprint is of 4 weeks. How many weeks?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. The longer the sprint is, the longer the sprint planning meeting may go. Okay, and then what happens exactly? You daily work towards this identified sprint backlog item. Every developer works in, and they do daily stand-up meeting every day. They meet for 15 minutes on every single day. They discuss what they did, what they could not do, and any problem appears. Along with BA, they analyze, they test, and then when they find that it is ready, they invite clients and they let them review it. So if it is for one 4 week sprint, then the meeting will go for 4 hours. Sprint review means where the review happens, where you once again look upon what you have developed. So that meeting goes for 4 hours if it is 4 week long sprint. Okay, so the ideal time is from 2 to 4 hours. For 2 weeks, 2 hours you can consider. For 4 weeks, you can consider 4 hours. For 3 weeks, you can consider 3 hours. Okay. Once in the review, everything is go green. Client says, okay, I agree with this. So it is developed the way it was supposed to. Then you, as a Scrum Master, facilitate one sprint retrospective meeting where you discuss what you did well, what you could not do well, and what are the learning out of it. And that meeting goes from not more than 1 to 3 hours. And finally, even before sprint retrospective meeting and after sprint review meeting, you ship whatever was agreed. And so this is also called as bug-free product increment. So you continue to deliver the small pieces, right? Every single sprint, in every single sprint. And that's the reason it is called as bug-free product increment. You are giving it in incremental mode. So is this picture clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, Sahita, I see that you have raised your hand. You have some question.
Gaurav, I have few questions here.
Yeah.
So here it is like backlog means like what?
Okay, backlog means initially what you do, backlog is nothing but the requirement. Okay, so what happens, big requirement cannot be delivered at once, right?
Right.
So it
right.
has to be broken down in a small feature
Parts.
in the small requirement. So backlog items first become the epic. Epic is the bigger goal of the project. Okay, and then that epic bigger goal of project in a one line can be further broken down into smaller pieces that gets converted into user story further gets converted into feature, sub feature, activity, and the final activity is with every single person in the team, in the Scrum team, and they start working towards that. So is it clear to everyone? And that's the reason I gave the example of bread loaf. So how you are slicing it down in the small activity. Yeah. So is it clear to everyone? Okay,
Yeah.
Sahita has again some questions.
No,
one
sir,
more
it's me, Nikita.
Okay, Nikita, you have some question. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, the question is, as soon as we receive the requirement, it becomes a backlog, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So you continue to start working towards those.
So the
Okay.
word backlog, I was thinking it's a leftover. It's a backlog. It's already
Yeah,
lagging. So that's what I was thinking.
So for your own personal use, your personal understanding, you can think in that way, but never use in the corporate, in the project. Okay.
got
You
it.
can also
And-
consider for your own reference. It's a to-do list, to-do job, but don't use these terms. Okay.
And here the sprint review means like this, we are going to, as a business analyst, or as a Scrum Master, we are going to discuss these things with the developing team and the testing team, or like how it goes.
So daily you are already discussing with the development team, right? That what's going on, what's daily you are
Stand-up meeting. Yeah.
in the stand-up meeting, you are daily you're discussing what's going on, what's not going on, right?
Okay.
But in sprint review, as I said, that it's a review. Okay, so who needs to do it? The sprint review, you review the entire sprint. So entire activity which was decided in the sprint planning meeting, you are going to review along with customer. Okay, because ultimately customer has to use that, right? Customer has to say, yes, it has been developed the way it was supposed to, right?
Right. I got it.
And
so even the sprint retrospective, that thing?
no, sprint retrospective customers are not required. Okay, because this is internal where they may not, but ideally they are not required. Even product owner is not required in sprint meeting. Sprint retrospective meeting. It's who development team who work together. They will say how they delivered it well, or they could not do it well. They did it on time, or they could not do it on time. If they have some learning out of it, and Scrum Master will make sure that every learning is getting documented in the sprint retrospective. So is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Gaurav, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you say sprint planning meeting goes 6 to 8 hours or sprint review goes from 2 to 4 hours, is it divided into 3 to 4 weeks or it goes in one stretch?
No, it goes in one stretch. 1 day given for sprint planning, and 1 day given means 2 to 4 hours, of course, in a day. Finish it
Okay.
up. Okay. So this is how it is. Yeah. It's not like daily stand-up. Otherwise, it would have called as a daily sprint review.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So it's one time. Okay, cool. Any other question? We can move further.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So it is further given like this. Okay, you can see here. Project vision is there. Okay, project vision means epic is created from the requirement, and your product owner is doing the release planning on what all date they will be delivering one feature or three feature together to the customer, and they discuss those feature in the sprint planning meeting. Planning is happening, you continue to implement, you participate in daily scrum, and then you once the sprint is over, you meet on the day of the D-Day, the sprint review meeting, where customer is there. He gives smiley, happy smiley or sad smiley, or just okay smiley. Okay, and based on that you continue to work, and based on that you deliver whatever he has given, a go green or a good smiley or okay for that, you deploy that. Okay, deploy means pushing those deliverables, we call them as a deliverable, on the customer end, right? And when the time meets, or you find time, you also run a sprint retrospective meeting along with all the development team, and there you discuss all the learning. So you see here, so in sprint planning, what is happening? You are discussing the input. Okay, input are nothing but the product backlog item. Okay, in product backlog item, you have pulled some important features, highest value features, and on that sprint on that feature, you discuss with people who all are ready to work. They voluntarily give you the hands up. They say that they are ready to work on this feature because they have time or they have good understanding. How they will approach, they will also discuss that. How long they will take, they will also discuss that. And what all activity they will do with that feature, they discuss that in the sprint planning meeting itself. And then finally they start working, and they give the sprint backlog item with the date and all activity to be done. So scrum master makes sure that everything is noted down in the sprint capturing tool, or say task management tool, or whatever it could be, Jira, Azure DevOps, to which we are referring over here. So this is how sprint planning happens, where you are very much clear with the input is what, output is what, who will do what, how they will do, and what are being done. So is this also graph is clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any questions so far? No? So Prerna,
No.
you there? If you want to add something, or you can take the another slide.
Yes, Gaurav. I just wanted to have share something more on the project planning question that we had recently. So basically, guys, try to understand. It's a it's a one time or one phase activity. Like the questions just now asked, like, is it divided into multiple weeks or thing like that? So definitely no. We first plan the entire sprint, and that happens at the beginning. So we decide what we have to work on. We have the in detailed long meeting, 6 2 hours, 4 to 6 hours. Try to understand, it's like more than half a day, or sometimes it gets stretched for a day, depending on the complexity. So once we have this meeting, once we freeze all the requirements, then we get ahead with the sprint. Okay, so have this clarity. This is the flow, like, we start with the sprint meeting. And yes, Gaurav, this is what, and I really appreciate your explanation. It was very nice. So if you want me to go ahead with this, I can continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. So yes, good that we started with the sprint planning, and now we will, because it's a very important topic from your understanding as well. Because tomorrow In future, if you join as a BA or as a Scrum Master, in a team, so it's really great to know what all happens when you be a part of the team or when you're following Agile. Okay, so let's get into this deep dive understanding of this topic. And trust me, it's very realistic, it's very process oriented, and you will feel so much comfortable and at ease once you understand how it goes. Okay, so I would require, I think, around 4 people to read all the bullet points, each one by one, different. Okay, so can we start with the how? Go ahead. No
Yes.
need to ask me, may I? Just you can start reading. Yeah, please.
Okay. The how, the development team plans the work necessary to deliver the sprint goal. Ultimately, the resulting sprint plan is a negotiation between the development team and product owner based on value and effort.
Okay, let me take a pause here. Okay, so first of all, this is a very brief but onto the point explanation of how the sprint planning happens. Okay, so what is said that that development team plans the necessary work that is necessary to deliver the sprint goal. Okay, I think we did discuss, I had explained what is sprint goal last in the last session. Anybody remembers what is the sprint goal or what do they recollect? I'll be really glad to know. Yeah. Sprint goal.
It's the list of to do.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
It's the list of to do things, I think.
Okay. Can somebody be more, can you be more specific as in?
What is supposed to be delivered?
Okay, that's also fine. Yes. I'm looking for a complete sentence which can give the exact meaning of sprint goal.
It's the
Anybody
client's
wants to try?
requirements list, whatever we completed and whatever the left things.
Okay, I'm really liking the thought process. You're giving me gist of entire sprint understanding. Yes. Anybody wants to try? Last attempt. Anybody? Whatever comes to your mind, that's
Compliment.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Compliment.
Compliment. Okay. So I would say everybody gave a part of that definition of understanding. So basically,
Brief
sprint goal.
explanation.
Sorry.
Brief explanation.
No, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
It's
So basically,
time required to finish a job.
what required to finish a job?
The time frame required to finish a job or a work done.
Okay. So let me give you clarification. Please stop answering as of now. Thank you so much for your contribution. What I would say, see the words sprint, that means your duration, and goal means something that you want to achieve. So all of you are right, but not completely right or correct. The thing is, you would given answers like the requirements or the commitment or the complement or the duration. So it's basically a combination of all that within that particular sprint, how much you have to deliver as per the client requirement, or what do you have to deliver. It's not even how much. There can be multiple requirements, multiple user stories, multiple functionality that you worked on, that you should be working on, but there has to be something that is very important that you have to achieve. Maybe after completing 10 functionality, you can get to a point where you said my sprint goal is achieved. I remember giving the example of Amazon website and starting with the kids section, kids clothing and kids toys. So I had said that when we completed kids section development, that is my current sprint goal. So you see, to complete the entire kids section, I have to cover baby boys, baby girls, clothing and apparels and accessories and, maybe books and whatnot, So all these functionality once you complete and then you deliver that to customer, then you say that, and when the customer acknowledges, okay, it's not only you delivering, when they acknowledge, it's like the sprint goal is achieved. So basically here what it says is that development team, you know, beforehand plans, that whatever the sprint goal customer has asked or we have been agreed upon, that for that what kind of planning and what kind of duration, you know work wise would require. So this is done by the development team, obviously, because the development team is the one who will work on the development side. So the hardcore development, coding, programming, everything is done by and by the way, development team includes everybody. I hope you're clear with this. Generally, in IT, development team means only the programmers or developers. But here in Agile, development team means everybody who is a part of the team. That also includes developers, testers, BAs, QAs, architect, if any, or designers, whatever. So whatever your team has, team includes for this entire work. This is called as a development team. So in one line, the development team plans whatever we have to do to deliver the sprint goal. This is very important. Though it's a small line, but it's very important. That's why I've given so much emphasis on this. And then the resulting sprint plan is a negotiation. Okay. Look at the choice of the word. Negotiation between the development team and the product owner based on value and effort. Okay. So now if imagine I am development team and you guys imagine that you are all one person. You are product owner and me and Gaurav are the development team. Okay. So vice versa. Generally it's the reverse because you guys are more, but I'm taking I want you to think from product owner point of view. So we as a team, we say, okay, this sprint goal is quite complex. It's going to take a lot of time and this complexity and whatever, a lot of efforts. So we might need to stretch or we might need other resources or this and that, we would put forward our set of argument or our view. But then you guys or you as a whole, being a product owner, having the best of knowledge of in this area, or being there in sprint for many years in Agile, working on different sprints and projects, you can just come up and say, guys, I understand your estimation and planning, but I think we can do this far earlier than what you have planned. And you can even guide. So this is basically a discussion and negotiation. Or say a development team says, okay, this sprint goal is very tough and we have to break it into 2 sprints. We can't complete in one go. But then you as a product owner comes in the picture and says, no, if we could manage this activity, or if we do this automation or whatnot, see, because this is where the experience and all that comes in the picture, first of all. Okay. So this is and always remember the beautiful choice of word, negotiation. So you negotiate, you say, oh, I would need this many resources, and then the product owner would say, okay, you can do that, but you can do within your team also. You might not need to hire somebody else and things like that. So basically, I'm sorry. Basically, it's like a bargain of timing and of efforts, and that happens within the team. So customer has already said what they want and how they want it by what time, and then internally as a team you brainstorm. So you understand, as a team how much of discussion and negotiation and I will not say argument, bargain and discussion goes planning. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gaurav, can you just take the who part? I am getting something. I need to attend that. Give me 5 minutes. Gaurav, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Yeah, please. Give me 2 minutes, please. Yeah.
Sure. So anyone can read this first bullet in the who section? Okay.
You
Who can?
cannot do sprint planning without the product owner or the development team.
Yeah, it's quite obvious, right?
अब सुनाना
So
चाहता हूँ, शेयर
develop.
करना चाहता हूँ आपके साथ। एक बार स्कूल के पहले दिन पर अंक 9 नंबर ने अंक 8 को
All right. So you cannot do sprint planning without product owner or the development team. Development team has to be there. Product owner has to be there because this is sprint planning meeting. Okay. So you can't skip because main input from where you think will come for the sprint planning.
Product owner.
Exactly, you are right, from product owner. And who will work on those input?
Development team.
Development team. And that's the reason we need both of them in the sprint planning meeting. So who can read the second bullet, please?
The product owner defines the goal based on the value that they seek. The development team needs to understand how they can or cannot deliver that goal.
Yeah. So it's very important that goal should be clear. Imagine there is no goal post in a football ground and you are asked to do a goal. Do you think you would be able to do that? Of course not, because there is a no goal post. Likewise, and whatever journey it is, be it of the delivery, you should be very much clear what to be delivered. Okay. When you are very much clear what to be delivered, then only those are the actual value to be added to whom?
Okay.
To customer, to project. That's right. Okay. And when you know about this, when you will understand that, when your entire team understand that, then only they can deliver those goals. So it is very important to define them first. Okay. So it is very important to park those goal posts in the ground, then only goal can be done. So likewise, first define those goals, then only those goals can be achieved. And it applies with any sort of goal, with any kind of goal. Okay, so it is crystal clear. A goal can only be achieved when they are defined. Okay, clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, so cool. So who can read the third one?
If either is missing from this event, it makes planning the sprint almost impossible.
Yeah. So as I say, the importance of goal that is there, plus people. If suppose you are handing over someone task and he is himself not available or she is clueless, do you think he can perform?
No.
No, of course not, because he does not have the clarity. Or even though you delegate some task, he needs to know that what was discussed, and for that very reason, all the meetings are what? Meetings are done what? So what happens?
In the presence of the development team and in the product owner.
Okay, so suppose someone missed this session. Okay, what we do so that we make sure that before they come next time, they record it, right? So can you make sure as a facilitator or scrum master that you also record this meeting, so that if someone is not there, still despite that the information go to them?
Yes.
So technology, we can take support from the technology, right? Thanks. Yeah. So Prerna, let me know whenever you are back so that you can take further. And let's move
So
further.
Gaurav, here product owner doesn't need to, does he need to know how to do coding and stuff? Because like he's involved in the sprint meetings, like planning of the project, like he's dividing the parts of the project, everything is right.
Okay, so it's good to have for product owner. It's good to have if you know, but not necessary you need to know the this thing. Why? Because see, critical situation may appear at any point of time. Imagine you are running a business, okay, and you have given all the tasks to all of your employee, okay, and suppose this is Sunday and you had promised something to your customer that should be done on Saturday night. Till Saturday night, nothing was done, and you thought that before it will be Sunday or before it will be Monday morning, you will deliver something, and you wanted to spare one day by your own self by fixing some small, bits and pieces. If you know, you can do that, but if you don't know, you will go back with the excuse that due to some reason you had lack of resource or a lack of manpower or lack of time, you couldn't do that. But if you want to really want a repeat order as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, would you want a repeat order or not?
Yes.
You want it, right? And for that, you will make your customer delight, or you will go ahead with the excuse. You will delight or excuse?
Delight.
You will delight him, right? And for that, you would be ready to run some extra mile. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And that extra mile can be seen running on Sunday if you'll work, because it is your own job. You would be ready to work. You can't expect your employee to work on weekends.
Sundays, yes.
Yeah, Sundays. So it's your own job and you don't have any pressure, but you have the love about that job. You have the passion about that job and you will be ready to work upon that. So in case you have the knowledge, then only you can apply that knowledge. If you don't have that, you can't apply. So that may seem in the IT industry as well. If you are passionate about your work and if you are a product owner and you think that something is missing and you are good with the coding, you can do that. Even no one forces you that you need to know that. It's all about the commitment things work over there. Is it clear to you? The answer?
Yes, Gaurav, this is a real-time scenario what I'm facing through right now. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So this is how it is. It has to be understood. Okay. So understand this. If either one is missing from this event, it makes planning the sprint almost impossible. It is, because you are a business owner and you are expecting your employee did not work. Don't expect them to work either, because they need their own means week off. But even though if it is your week off, you are going to be there. Okay, because you have to deliver. So having said so, let's move further. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So who can read the input part?
Okay, the inputs. A great starting point for the sprint plan is the product backlog, as it provides a list of stuff that could potentially be part of the current sprint. The team should also look at the existing work done in the increment and have a view to capacity.
Okay.
Gaurav, I'm back. So should I go ahead?
Yeah, you can explain.
Thank you so much. I just got an urgent call. Yeah. So guys, we are learning sprint planning in detail. And now, as you know what it is, what activity it is, you should know what are the inputs, as in what are the things required to carry it on and what will be the output. So what will be the outcome of this process? So as I think Nikita read, so we would have a product backlog, right? I think you must be listening to this word PBI, even Gaurav explained in the morning, sorry, sometime back, that product backlog item, right? So these are the list of activities or list of requirements or functionalities that we have to work upon. That we still have to work upon. They're there from the beginning, prioritize, deprioritize, getting added additional requirement. So what it sees is that it's a great starting point for a sprint plan to to potentially check what can be the I said this stuff. Can you see the stuff is quoted? So here what they are saying, whatever we have in the product backlog item, we have to decide what will be included in the current sprint. Okay. Now, taking our earlier example, if our sprint goal for this sprint is completing children's section in Amazon website, okay, and imagine your requirement list would have all the requirements of the entire website. Now, can anyone comprehend how big Amazon website is? Like how many items or things there are there to on sell or whatever, right? I mean, you name it, you have it.
Yeah, it's huge.
Clothing, it's accessories, it's appliances. It's what I mean. Sometimes I wonder what is not there on Amazon, right? It's so huge. It's like a Wikipedia of things. So imagine if that's your project. I'm just trying to give you a comparative analysis. So just imagine if that is your project and you want to focus on the children's section. So your focus narrows down to such a level, right? So when you know that you have to deliver entire children's section, then you would come to the product backlog and you will choose only functionality or requirement that is related to the children's section. It can be clothing, apparel, medicines, toys or accessories or books or study material, experiment material, what not comes to your mind, right? But luckily it helps you, it gives you a guideline of what you have to develop during this sprint, right? The team also should have a look at the existing work done in the increment and have a view to capacity. Now, this is important. The team should also see that what is currently working on. Like I said, like in the last session, that when you start with the children's section, you first completed the clothing. Okay, so now you know that okay, in the earlier sprint, luckily we worked upon the clothing section of the children for the website. Now we can focus more on the books and accessories and the study material and the toys and whatnot. So basically it's everything in continuity. Or if I have to give you a more relatable example is, if your final exams are coming up, imagine you're all in school or college, whichever phase you enjoyed the most, you can consider. Okay, I enjoyed both, but then focus more on school because that time we were a little more studious and little more, I would say, sincere. So imagine you're in your board year and your final exam is coming and your entire syllabus is important, right? All the subjects, entire syllabus is important. But then imagine if you have your maths paper coming in. Maths paper is there per se on Friday, though it's a holiday, Easter, but we assume that it's there on Friday. So as of now, what will you focus on today and
Maths.
tomorrow? Right? Maths. So that is,
Yes.
and then if you're lucky and sincere enough, you would have done some revision and some earlier study of that topic. So what would you look at? Like, okay, I've completed these many chapters or these many summations. Now I have to revise or focus on these. So you imagine what you did here. You checked the items, what was done, what has to be done, and what is the sprint goal. Everybody with me on this?
Yes,
Any
yes.
doubts in this question?
No.
Or sorry, in this explanation? My bad.
Mhm.
No? So same way. See why this comparative example is because the scope of this entire project is very huge. So scope of your board exam is very huge. But in that, you have to focus one by one. So you can imagine your each weekly paper. Imagine you have weekly exams. So each weekly paper is like your sprint. And then that time you focus solely on that working or that paper or that sprint goal. Make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Perfect. And by the way, there's a very important word that we have to have a view of the capacity. If you remember last time we did discuss that whenever we plan something or we deliver something, we need to see what is our capacity, like how many resources we have, what is their capacity, what are their strength, what are their skill sets, and will they be able to deliver? So it's not that. So for example, if your maths exam is there and you're revising, you're doing everything, but then there are some topics which are very advanced and you might need some guidance for that. So either you would need your parents or a tutor or a elder sibling who has already studied that, right? So that is that is why the word capacity is used. And always remember in all of our slides, that's why I encourage you to rewatch the video. All the words are carefully chosen. It can be execution, it can be capacity, it can be negotiation. So here what we are saying, okay, we have to take a stock of what we have to do and when, how we have to finish it. But then we also have to consider what is the capacity. If per se, like there is a viral fever or viral infection, and out of the 8 people, 4 people are down with some health issues and they can't come to office or they can't log in, where would you stand, right? I mean, you are just
Yeah.
working with half of the capacity. So you might have to convey that to the customer, or you might have to do some other arrangement. So that's why capacity. Always remember this word. Any doubts in this explanation?
No.
Great, thank you. I take this no from everyone. Yeah, I didn't finish the output. Yeah, last. Okay, so this was the input part. I gave enough detailing about the input. Now, what has to be the output of this? Okay, can anyone read this? Preferably someone who has not read till now. Yeah.
The outputs, the most important outcome of the sprint planning meeting is that the team can describe the goal of the sprint and how they will start working towards the goal.
And
This
next
this is
sentence.
made visible in the sprint backlog.
Perfect. So basically what we discussed, okay, we have this capacity, we have these people, we have this and that, but ultimately the outcome of this sprint meeting is that, okay, entire team or development team along with product owner and scrum master agrees that this is the sprint of goal of the sprint. So now we all agree, if I have my maths paper in this week, so this is my sprint goal. Entire team will focus on maths. Or if this is my development cycle, kids section has to be completed. And then how do we complete it? That working is also given. Maybe kids section, you can take 1 day for each development, 1 day for toys, 1 day for study material, 1 day for their accessories, 1 day for their whatever other activities, paints and colors and skating. See, imagine, sky is the limit. So all that planning is done, first of all, and ultimately whatever you have decided, whatever tasks you have planned, all those will be included in the sprint backlog. So see, first of all, sprint backlogs has all the activities. You just cross check that, okay, I have to complete this development, all this is there or not. So that is there. Sprint black. See, basically understand sprint backlog is like your to-do list or your checklist. How you have your weekend to-do list. I think 90% people do have a to-do list, and especially a weekend to-do list when they and their spouse or with their parents and family, they just go and do whatever work is pending, like shopping and going to the grocery and whatnot, car maintenance and anything and everything under the sun. So
Yes, so
same
true.
way, yeah, it's relatable, right? So same way for that sprint, whatever is required to be completed, you ensure, see, it's visible. That means it has to be there. And always remember, team development team, Scrum team will always work only looking at the sprint backlog. If you have to work on something and then that is not mentioned in the sprint backlog, that does not exist. I'm pretty sure this generally happens with me. Whenever we go for any shopping or marketing and we have to get something and you forget that thing in a to-do list, that thing is just out of your mind. Doesn't matter how important or how it was. It just happens sometimes. So it is that principle. You have to have that in the uh, product
Yes.
backlog, or this is called as sprint backlog. So the difference between product backlog and sprint backlog is, in the sprint backlog, it's very specific for that sprint. So you will not go out of the scope for the other items. You will focus more on, okay, this is my this week's work. This is my maths paper. Let me focus on maths paper. I can study about science or whatever other subject later. Sounds good? Any doubts?
No.
No? Some people have decided to be on mute forever. I do not know why, but that's their choice. But they can simply, just say yes or no. That would be really great. Yeah, Gaurav, we can move to next slide, please. See, now I really like these images. That's why they are there, and they kind of give you a very detailed idea. But then it also has importance. Here you see product backlog. There is only one person. Can you see that guy is kind of stepping on the ladder and putting things in? So that person, we have that. It can be a he or she. That person is a product owner. We have been emphasizing on this fact that though entire team is involved, everybody is there in the planning phase, execution phase, but always remember, product backlog is is always like it's an asterisk maintained by the product owner. They say too many chefs spoil the soup. So we
Yes.
don't do that here. We want one person, single person, point of contact, a single person who manages the product backlog, and there is always only one product backlog. People have tried to have backups and all, but that doesn't work. You should have one source, only one place where all your requirements come in. So that's why this person comes in. Now here says sprint planning meeting. There are only two people, but then generally there are more. So see, they are like talking or discussing and negotiating. She had some words, he had some arguments or discussion, and right. And when all this comes in, and you can see the arrows, right? So from product backlog comes the requirement, or comes the functionality. The arrow is coming into that circle. Then that is kind of getting discussed in this entire circle, or the planning phase, planning meeting. And that output, so input and output. So that output goes and becomes your sprint goal. Makes sense?
Yes.
Please,
Yes.
please take a
Yes.
picture of
Yes.
this this screenshot, and whenever you sorry, this screen, and whenever you look at this picture, all these explanation or whatever understanding you have, that should come to your mind. So when you go for interviews, you don't have to go through theory or listen to the videos at the last moment. When you go to interviews, or you're giving interviews from home, you just have to look at these pictures and the pointers that you have, and then you're good to go. You can explain, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for your answer. Yeah, Gaurav, we can go to next slide, please. Yes. Now we come to Scrum Sprint. Can someone read the first pointer, please?
Scrum Sprint is a repeatable fixed time box during which a done product of the highest possible value is created. Sprint lies at the core of the sprint agile methodology and can be thought of as an event which wraps all other Scrum events like daily Scrum, Scrum review, and Scrum retrospective.
Thank you. Thank you for reading it out. So basically what it says is the Scrum Sprint is a repeatable fixed time box during, so see, focus on each and every word. Okay, first of all, it says repeatable, so you will have multiple sprint in a Scrum or agile project implementation. Okay, so sprint 1, sprint 2, whatever, how many you have, so it's repeatable. Fixed time box, that means you have a fixed time interval, so per se 2 week sprint, 3 week sprint, whatever you decide. Okay, so Scrum Sprint is a repeatable, it repeats itself, fixed time box, so fixed duration, a timing, with a done product of the highest possible value is created. Now, does anyone remember definition of done or what is done that Gaurav had explained last time? Yeah.
When the user story is completed and it's in the usable condition.
Perfect. So when your functionality, user story, requirement is done and dusted, it's completed, and it's ready to use or ready to deliver, right? So that's it, done. So what it says is that in this repeatable fashion, in each sprint, as a team, you have to deliver what was committed, what was planned, what was proposed in a complete format. It should not be in a half-baked cake. Make sense? And by the way, done product of the highest possible value. That means whatever you deliver, it has to be of highest quality and highest value. That means whatever the customer is asking for, that needs to be developed in a very efficient manner, ensuring there are no issues or bugs in it, or there is no additional costing attached to it. So basically, one second. Sorry. Basically, it should be a win-win for both of you. The customer should also not feel that they are being charged more, or the timing is being stretched, and you should also feel that, okay, I'm delivering the best of what skills I have. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Next thing is sprint lies at the core of the sprint agile methodology. Obviously, yes. That means the entire sprint concept and implementation is the core of this agile methodology concept. Basically, agile works on this implementation only. It's like if somebody asks you what is agile, if you just give them this much explanation that, okay, we have sprint, we have the sprint planning meeting, we have this development, we have sprint goal. When you utter these words, they know that you know the entire funda, the concept, or the workings, right? And that is the core. It's not only the theory or some data or something like that. It is all how it is being worked upon. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay. Core of the sprint methodology and can be thought of as an event which wraps all other Scrum events So it's the core of methodology. And why it is the core? Because it kind of wraps, or it kind of binds all other events like daily scrum meetings, scrum review, and sprint retrospective. We will come to the other, I think scrum review and sprint retrospective would come in the upcoming session, but we've already explained you what is daily scrum or daily stand-up meetings. So what it says is, this is the core of Agile, because all the sprint or Agile related activities are wrapped into it, are covered into it. Makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is why. See, basically, I do not know, have you heard of it or not? When there is a child in the family, there are at times the youngest, okay? So you always end up saying that that kid has all the best and worst qualities of your family. In Marathi we say ki ha arka hai purana kutumbacha, like that person has all the features of almost everybody rather than the top features. So here, with that example, why I am trying to why I shared that is, this agile, the sprint working or the sprint concept of implementation is the core of agile, because it has everything. It has your meetings, it has your execution, it has the overall capacity, discussion, understanding. So you get the point? Yes.
Yes.
It has the crust. It has the crust, if somebody asks you, or the code. Perfect. Yeah. Can someone read the next point, please?
Sprint is one time boxed iteration of a continuous development cycle. Within a sprint, planned amount of work has to be completed by the team and made ready for review. Scrum projects are broken down into small and consistent time intervals referred to as sprints. They can be as short as a few days and generally are no longer than 3 to 4 weeks.
Perfect. Right. And I think we have already discussed this. So yes, it is time bound, it is small, and it is a continuous development. We imagine for your board exams, you come home and you switch on the TV after your maths exam. What is the first statement or remark, or if you're not getting a chata, or something on your face, what is the first remark of your parents? They're like, exams is not over. It's start. Get that? So it's a repeated, it's a continuous development. It's not that only because this sprint is done, you are free to wander and just be relaxed. No, as in, though you can have your that meeting and have that rest cooling off period, but then you have to prepare for the next development, right? Because your project is still on. You still have to create that giant Amazon website. Why I give that Amazon? Because it's so huge, it gives you ample of scope for imagining and thinking. So same way, it's a repeatable activity. It's a repeated activity. Iterative means repetitive. And you have fixed amount of time for each of the sprints, so you better focus. And then you have to ensure that these intervals are consistent and small. So it's not that one sprint is of 4 weeks or 3 weeks and other is of 10 weeks. It will never happen. It is first of all not accepted. Only I'm just giving you a hypothetical example, okay? So yes, it can be a very short duration or it can be a longer duration, but whatever you decide, you have to stick to it. You have to follow it thoroughly and ensure that you deliver as per. So time box, repeated, continuous development cycle, all these things, all these words are like the key words. So I'll recommend, whenever you talk to someone, I mean, it can be your spouse, it can be your friends, or it can be among this group. Generally, there are many WhatsApp groups for the particular batch where we have experienced this, that candidates add each other and they discuss, or when we give them upcoming projects, is very helpful. So when in future, if you have such kind of group, if you don't have as of now, or you talk to any person from IT, you use this word, continuous development or sprint, or cycle, or delivery. A person knows where you come from. they understand that, okay, you do have a grasp of this topic and you do know how it works. Okay, so it's not only to show off, but it's also to understand. If someone cross questions you, you should be in a position to answer that what do you mean by that and what do you understand. Makes sense? Sounds good?
Yes.
Or any doubts?
Yeah.
I'll be
Yes.
really happy to cover your doubts. If you have any teeny tiny thing in your mind, please feel free to ask. If no, then we can definitely go ahead. Yeah, Gaurav. You can go to next slide. Yes. Can someone read this? This is the continuation of what we have been discussing.
I can read it. During a sprint, there is a development team that comprise of cross-functional members who are capable of achieving the sprint goals. This could include software engineers, architects, programmers, analysts, system admins, QA expert, testers, UI designers, and etc.
Thank you so much for reading. So basically here we are trying to learn about the diversity of this team. Okay. And if you remember just around 5 to 10 minutes back, I just mentioned that though this team is called as development team, it comprises of almost everyone who is involved. So we did speak about designer, developers, QA, tester, and maybe system admin or architect. So these are, just imagine, these people or these team members are all important. They all are part of the IT process, and uh, in this development team, everybody is required. So that is what it says. So it's a team. And by the way, always imagine, understand this word, cross functional. Okay, cross functional, we will have an entire dedicated topic to understand that. But as of now, cross functional means something, yeah, people or candidates from different teams, which has different, I would say, skills. So for example, someone is a developer, but then the another person is a tester, right? So they come from different part of the IT or development process, but then here we need them together. Is it okay? Everybody understand this? What does cross functional means? That simply means they come from different functionality. No, yes. Okay, I'll give you another example. When somebody goes for masters, especially here in India, so if somebody goes for an MBA, for example, so that person can come from finance background, that person can come from IT background, that person can come from science background, or there are so many engineers, right? So everybody comes from different backgrounds, so they are cross functional, but then they come to a common course or common masters. Make sense?
Yeah.
And then their ultimate goal is to achieve the sprint goal. So cross-functional members who are capable of achieving the sprint goal. So they all come together, engineers, architects, developers, testers, designers, everyone, and then they work as a team to achieve the sprint. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Next point, please.
Next slide.
Gaurav, we can go to the next slide. Yeah. So I need 3 different people. Gaurav, can you please take this? I'll just take a water break, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So who can read this first one?
I can.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
There is a sprint planning meeting. The length of the sprint planning meeting is proportional to the length of the sprint.
Yeah. So as I said, that 6 to 8 weeks, and I told you how. So every time this is in proportion, right? If it is uh, uh, 4 weeks long meeting, 4 weeks long sprint, it will supposed to go for 8 hours maximum. Okay. If it is if it is 2 weeks, it means it will go for 4 hours or something. So this is how it is. So just you can see in the second bullet point the explanation further. You can who can read this second point?
I can.
Yeah,
For
please.
a 4-week sprint should be planned in no more than 8 hours. A 1 week sprint should be planned in no more than 2 hours.
Are you all getting the proportion? Means
Yeah.
based
Yes.
on the duration, and it should be very easy for you to understand. Even in the interview, when you are asked, okay, as a scrum master, what do you think you will arrange a sprint planning meeting for how long, then you should be answering this proportion only. Okay, so this is how this has been simplified. So third one, who can read this third bullet point?
This meeting determines what the goals are for that sprint based on the team velocity. A set of features are pulled from the top of the product backlog to the sprint backlog for the coming sprint.
Yeah. So as we have been telling and we have been emphasizing on this, availability of the resource, understanding of the requirement, and the plan of execution. Okay. When these three things come in sync, you see and you foresee the deliverables are ready to be incremented. You can deliver anything in timely fashion, and you will find that you are not going to get delayed by this. But in case anything out of that is missing, means you have not identified that what all hours the resources are available. Generally it doesn't happen, but in some of the cases, in some of the organization, it has been seen that, say for example, a load from a developer A has been just give me a second. I need to switch on the power. Just give me a second. Yeah. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yes. So understand this based on their availability, based on their hours availability. So I was explaining that it is not supposed to happen, but sometime it may happen. If a resource is appearing as if he can leverage his 1 hour or two, so he has given some other task. So if you are considering your project of not of that high priority, and if you can use this for to let it go slow, or somewhere budget constraint is there, or some some sign of our pending, sign of customers clarity or customers confirmation are pending, that time you are using that resource accordingly. So based on that, you are understanding the time of the person. Okay, how long he can give. Okay, you as a BA, how long you can give. So considering your time availability, all the calculation happens that within how many time, how many hours, one feature can be developed, can be tested, and can be integrated with other communication channel, and thereby it can be deployed in a new environment, and you continue to then continue to deliver that. So any question around this before sprint, what we are doing? That's what I explained. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
So see here. So product backlog is set of all the user story because it is broken down. And at the sprint plan backlog, what happens? At the end, it looks like a task. What does it look like as a
Task.
task? Yes. So what happens? So in user story is broken down further, and one user story, on one user story, multiple people can work. For one user story, business analysis is arranging the designing part. They are developing the mock drawing and all. Okay. Testers are creating the test scenarios. Okay, under what circumstances it has to perform, it doesn't have to perform, how would it look like, how it won't look like. Okay, developers are for functionality purpose, they are developing the codes. Okay, so one user story is given to all the people. With me so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everyone is having what?
Task.
Task, and they are delivering that, and how they will achieve, that's what they discuss in
Planning.
sprint planning meeting. That's right. So during the sprint, then what is happening? So let's read the first bullet point. Who can read this?
No features are added and the sprint goal don't change. The only exception to this is if the team finishes a sprint early.
Okay, do I need to explain it? So understand this thing.
No.
Yeah, this is self-explanatory. So let's move to the second one then. So who can read the second one?
Daily stand-up in a sprint, the daily scrum, also known as daily stand-up or a daily scrum, during which team members synchronize the effect. Synchronize the effort.
Yes. So what happens? What do we mean by synchronizing the effort? Okay. Efforts. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the team members discusses that, okay, I have done this, so now this will be followed by you. So like they synchronize in their daily stand-up.
Exactly. If in case at all any dependency is there, that is also becoming very, very obvious. Say, for example, you are working on Y item, business analyst is working on X item, and the moment he says a day that, hey, I was supposed to work on this X item, uploading all the documents related to that, all the explanation and all the drawing, I'm done doing that. Now the antenna of developer and tester will get erected, and they would say, okay, anyway, now we'll have to move towards the coding, towards the testing processes and all, and they are now ready to take up those tasks on their shoulder. So this is how the synchronization is happening. All of you are with me so far and
Yes.
getting it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so please read the third point.
Daily scrums enable team members to ensure the right things are being worked on by the right people at the right time.
Exactly. In front of Scrum Master, when you are giving all the details, everyone is aware. So you are yourself, you are not taking something which is not in the scope. And eventually, in case you speak of something which are not the part of scope, you will be caught. You will be, I mean, you will get a nudge that, hey, why you are working on this? This is something we have not decided, right? So this is very obvious that everyone is aware of who is doing what. Okay, and what you are supposed to do, you are doing that only. Okay, so those are the benefits of the Scrum meeting. So you can just take a note of these all, that what all the benefits of daily Scrum. Okay, and that's why we are running this daily Scrum meeting. So who can read this bullet, please? If no one has read so far. Anyone who has not read so far, please read this bullet.
Yeah, sprint planning. Every morning of the sprint, the project team gets together for a short daily stand-up meeting under 15 minutes. This meeting takes place at the same time every day and includes everyone on the project. Everyone stands up for the meeting to keep everyone focused and to keep the meeting short. Often a timer is set so that the meeting does not run long.
Yeah, so you are understanding, if timer is on, it means how critical it is to finish it within timeline, within 15 minutes, not more than that. So your objective as a future Scrum Master should be that it has to be finished within 15 minutes, not more than that. And what you would do? So I'll give you a quick, rhyming stuff that, that you can use when you are running any daily stand-up meeting, where everyone has to speak on three parts. Okay. What are these three parts? What was your last state? What would be next state? And what was bottleneck? So can you repeat what was last?
Last date, what?
Next state and what was bottleneck? Okay, next is last state and bottleneck, three items that you have to speak. So here it is written, what did I do yesterday to help achieve the sprint goal? What will I do today to achieve the sprint goal? So what, if anything, is impeding or backlog progress toward the sprint backlog? Same thing I spoke in a different manner. Okay, so having said so, let's quickly see if we can cover this three items. Who can read this? Sorry, excuse me. Yeah. Who can read this?
These three questions allow for complete transparency. Everyone on the team is in the loop and the answer make people accountable for what they say they will deliver.
Okay, yes. So it's also reiterating that someone is committing something, they have to deliver that. And if you are not deliver, it means whether you are working or not, it will be visible. Okay. Second point, if you can read it.
The
The
results of
results of
the meeting are typically shared with the client.
Okay, so in daily status, the daily progress finally go to the client as well. That client is even aware that I'm means giving money, and in return, people are really working. Okay, so yeah, third point, who can read that?
This daily
daily
communication makes sure that if something is holding up the team, they can get a response quickly.
Exactly. So if the daily status is also going to the client, and if something is impeding or something is blocking, and we can expect the response from the client, we are supposed to do follow up with them as well, and in return you will get the response. Again, here this is the about the Scrum meeting, where the same thing is given. This is what I plan to do, this is what I have done, and these are the obstacle I have encountered. That is the part of daily stand-up meeting. You see the product backlog in a different manner. These are the user story, and finally the task is achieved. Okay, daily Scrum happens, you complete a feature, and you run what meeting?
Scrum retrospective.
Okay, but before that, what meeting?
Review.
Review. The moment you complete the meeting, complete the feature, you want customers feedback onto that, and that's the reason a review meeting happens. Retrospective is internal. Okay, so that happens after that, and sometime when you are nearing the next sprint, that time happens. But before that, during the daily implementation, you run a meeting which is called as
Daily Scrum.
daily Scrum or daily stand-up meeting. Okay, in sprint planning meeting, what do you prioritize?
Backlog.
Backlog items. Yeah, and in the sprint planning meeting, if you prioritize a backlog, then that time it is called as what?
Prioritize backlog.
Product
KPI.
It's a sprint backlog. In the sprint, it's a sprint backlog. Out of the sprint, it is always product backlog. Okay, cool. You got it?
Yes.
So the final thing it says that what is sprint and Scrum is a time box iteration of a development cycle, broken project into small and consistent time interval, and as short as few days and as long as 4 weeks, not more than that, and can call a sprint goal a project in itself due to start and finish recorded gifts. And that's the very reason, why we call this training as a project, because we have some defined start time and end time, and that's the reason the training itself become a project. So is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Any doubt around it?
No.
Okay, Pooja. So Pooja, grab my attention. Pooja, quickly say in a word or two, what do you feel like saying about today's meeting or today's training?
It is a very interesting session. The things are very much clear.
And you are able to understand. And stay till the end, because I have to give you something at the end. Okay. So Pooja, please call out someone's name on the screen.
Sahita.
Sahita, what do you feel like saying?
It was good session, Gaurav. Actually, I was going through the same scenario, so I related to that. That's going to be easy for me. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. Please call out.
Example.
Yeah, please call out someone's name on the screen.
Mahendra.
Mahendra, yes, sir. What do you feel like saying?
Thank you, Sahita, Gaurav, and Prerna. It was good session, nice, very understanding, and now we are getting into the core of the subject. Thank you so much.
Yes. So please call out someone's name on the screen.
Tushar.
Tushar, yes. What do you feel like saying, Tushar?
Yeah, like everyone says, it was very nice. Good session, a lot of theoretical. So I'm looking forward to watching the video again.
Yeah, sure. Tushar, please call out someone's name on the screen.
Santoshi.
Yeah, Monica, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, everything was very clear and easy to understand.
Easy to understand. Thank you, Monica. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Mahendra.
Mahendra is done.
1 second. Ashi.
Ashi, yes. Ashi, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, today's session was very useful. The content of your presentation are very, very good and very up to the mark. I mean, the word to word, it's very, very explanatory. So very good session.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ashi. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Desdemona.
Desdemona, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, very interesting session today. Very easy to understand. Thank you, Prerna and Gaurav.
Yeah, so easy to understand. Thank you, Desdemona. Please call out someone's name.
Unnati.
Unnati. Yes, Unnati, what do you want to say?
Yeah, so it is my second session, but it's a good session. So I'm getting a good grasp of Scrum planning and everything. So thank you, Gaurav and Prerna,
Awesome.
for
Thank
this
you.
session. Yeah.
Thank you, Unnati. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Mamta.
Mamta. Yes, Mamta, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it was good and easy session. Easy to understand.
Thank you, Mamta. Please call out someone's name.
Ritika.
Ritika. Yes, Ritika, what do you feel like saying?
Thank you, Prerna and Gaurav. It was a very nice session and completely understand the Scrum planning and sprint planning.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Ritika. You are able to understand. Yeah, please call out someone's name on the screen.
Nirmal.
Nirmal. Yes, Nirmal, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it was very interesting, very informative, and I liked the session. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, Nirmal. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Ritika done. Ashi, I don't see anybody. Almost everybody's done.
No, I'm there.
Pooja?
Pooja is
Nikita.
done.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
call out her name.
Yeah,
Nirmal.
it was fun, interactive, and yeah, easy to understand. So thank you. Now
You're
I'll call
welcome.
Pooja.
No, Pooja is done, Nikita.
Okay, Vimal.
Yes, thank you, Nikita. Yes, Vimal, what do you feel like saying? Is it your day one, Vimal?
No, today is my second day. So yeah, I understand everything and very in-depth knowledge you gave today and very easy to understand.
Wow, brilliant. That's easy to understand. So, yes, Vimal, you can call out someone's name on the screen, or you can call out Prerna's name for the closer, and then I'll tell.
Prerna, yeah.
Yeah, Prerna, over to you for the closer remarks.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to listen to everybody's feedback, and the way our sessions are going is simply superb. The interaction, the doubts, the understanding is really nice, and the topics covered are very important. So I'm really happy the way we are shaping up as a team. So absolutely superb and a very enjoyable session, if I have to call it. Thank you so much, Gaurav. Over to you.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much for your participation. Number one. Number two, I want all of you to give me summary, because I should know that are you really telling here that you understand, it was easy to understand, or you can explain it back that it is easy. It was easy for you to explain as well. So that's the reason we need less than 90 seconds video. Post it in WhatsApp group. That's the second. Third point, make sure you are attending RRP session. Okay, I'm repeating that RRP session. Fourth item, the moment you see that you are getting ready even tomorrow for any of the requirement, make sure you are ready enough and flexible enough to change your CV as per the requirement and come back to us and tell us that, hey, I want to apply for this this project. Can you make us ready? Make me ready. It's now then my and Prerna's job to make you ready for that, and you go for the interview. Okay, but be sure that you are flexible enough with your CV, and then you are telling your HR that you are changing it. This is your future plan, but keep it in your mind so that you are flexible enough to get a job in your hand. It is not that you are here just for the training. Ultimately, you have to get in a job. So make sure you are not leaving a single stone unturned for getting a job. That's the fourth one. The fifth one is that I have just now posted a link. Okay, link in the WhatsApp group. Please click on that. Okay, you go to WhatsApp group, BS Scrum group, click on that link. When the moment you will click on that latest link, if that is already done by you, that link has been worked upon already by you. You will see that it is filled already, that information comes to you. Or else, if it is not done by you, you will see that 4 5 fields that you need to fill within 4 5 6 seconds, and you have to submit that. Is it clear to everyone, the last instruction?
Yes.
Yes.
So it is for Vimal, Ritika, Unnati, and all those people who are for the day 1 or day 2, day 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone do that. Vimal, is clear to you as well?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay, sir.
it's clear.
So thank you so much. We are going to meet again on Sunday. And before that, please do all the follow all the instruction what I and Prerna has shared. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care. You will get the recording. Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.